Hello, everyone, and welcome to an episode of Inside My Head. And, it's kind of a working title. It's kind of, we start off with In My Opinion, but now we went to Inside My Head because sometimes you guys want to know, like, dude, what is going on inside your head? I know y'all look at me.
Not really.
No. but the good thing is you have the opportunity to find out. So
yeah, that's awesome. So, Wayne, we're just going to start from this side over there. Let's go ahead and go do our introductions and welcome everyone to the show.
Matt Stewart, what's up? How y'all doing?
Hey guys, I'm Jodan Cornett.
And I'm Jamie Nixon. And our special guest tonight.
What's up, Taylor Groves? I'm ready to roll.
Oh,
his mic is hot. He's ready.
So, anyways, man, well, Taylor, we're going to get to you here in a few minutes, man, but we're just going to jump in. We're just going to throw you in the fire. And we argue all the time, so we have these conversations all the time. So you're a young, what are you 18?
18.
18. Nice to have a young buck perspective.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And, I hope he doesn't go the direction I think he's going to go.
We're definitely going in that direction. I think I know what you're talking about.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So I think that we have to identify 5 GOATs of their respective sport, right?
Okay.
Matt, we'll start with you.
I mean, do you want me to just go start with a sport? Or?
Yeah, just pick a sport and you pick your greatest. And you can do 3. Just do 3 sports. And
me. Football, I think as far as there's going to be some recency bias there, but I think it's hard to argue against TB12 being the greatest in football. Baseball, I think I'd have to go with Babe Ruth. And then basketball, I got to go with MJ. I mean, those are my 3, big 3. If I'm going to go with those 3, I have to. So.
All right, we're going to save him for last, so you go next.
All right, so
bro, don't you dare!
Yeah,
football.
I'm looking at it as soon as I said it. He looked at me.
He knows what's coming. He knows what's coming.
Yeah.
I would say, let's say football, just stay away from Brady. I would go ahead. I mean, it is hard to argue Brady. I mean, with what he's accomplished, and of course, it is recency bias. It's just
it is.
But I mean, there's other arguments. I mean, you could throw out Peyton. You could throw out. I'll probably say Jerry Rice for me.
That's one of my favorites too.
Let's pick a different position and go with someone that just dominated the league for years and years. Basketball. Let's see. I'm gonna go with Larry Bird. And then
I hope that camera zooms into all of our faces when he's
I'm gonna go with Larry Bird. And then I'm gonna go for baseball. Here's where I want to go. Okay, now this will be controversial, but I want to go Cal Ripken because of his Iron Man streak. That's just so. Like, how many games they play in baseball?
Yeah.
And he was just there. He was always. What do they say? The best ability is availability, right? So I mean he and he did. He just showed up, and he's been there the whole time. So I would just to be different. I'll throw out Kyle Ripken. I think he could be one of the GOATs in baseball.
Well, I'm going to start with baseball first since you said the Cal Ripken thing. And, of course, that whole WAR statistic that we talked about, Babe Ruth is number 1.
Yeah.
Babe Ruth also pitched.
Yeah.
So you got to factor that in. And so sometimes you can't factor that in modern-day baseball and how far baseball has come. So I'm going to actually – to me, Babe Ruth is just a different anomaly. He's just a different person, player. Set him apart.
So you're saying he's the greatest?
Kind of, but that measuring stick. Listen, I'm gonna go Pete Rose.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Pete Rose just because played a lot of different positions, switch hitter.
Will he ever be in the Hall of Fame?
No, that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, that's all
right. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, so I'm gonna go Pete Rose. Football. I just don't know how you deny 7 championships and how dominant he was. Now, the only argument that I could give to you is that Peyton's injuries, and Peyton's being cut short, could Peyton have went a little longer? That's the only person that I would even come close. Basketball is definitely Michael Jordan, and that's just because I just think that on top of everything that Mike done in his career, Mike literally would step on the court and people feared him. Mm-hmm. I just don't think that other people – I think the next person, to be honest with you, I rank Kobe Bryant ahead of LeBron James, just for that sheer factor as well of other teams fearing. I don't think people fear LeBron.
That killer instinct
I
factor.
just don't think that they go, oh, we're playing LeBron tonight. I think people said, oh my gosh, dude, I hope freaking Kobe don't drop 60 on me. Oh my gosh, I hope Jordan doesn't make me look bad. I don't think they look at LeBron like that. Now, honestly, I think the comparisons, and I don't want to get into that, but I think LeBron is still more Magic. You know, and so, but anyways, that's my top three inside the main three sports.
Inside the big three.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, so we'll start with basketball.
Come on, young buck.
I'm gonna take LeBron James. Y'all know that.
But give me why though. I gotta understand from someone that comes from your generation to understand why.
Okay, so you guys like you hear all the time that he can't dominate or he don't have that mentality like Kobe or an MJ had. But LeBron, in my opinion, he's one of those guys. He gets the teammates involved first, and if they're not on, then he's finna get his. And like he's shown at this age that he can still dominate the league. Like he's still averaging 25 and 10 or whatever like that. So he's still dominating the league at the age he is now. And you don't see a lot of 6'9", 260 guys that frame. He's still playing at a high level, in my opinion, and still one of the better guys in the league. So
I'll agree that he's a freakish athlete.
he is.
He could have stepped on a football field and never played down a football and probably done well at tight end or even
He was ranked coming out of high school in football.
right. But I just when I look at what he's able to do individually, he's always had to have had somebody with him. You can make the argument, okay, well, MJ had Pippen and he had Rodman, and but when I look at the entire career of LeBron, he's always had to have somebody. Yeah. When he was at Cleveland the first go around and it was just him, again, he was young. I just don't think, in my opinion, that's the reason I put him. I think he's definitely number 2. But as far as like being above MJ, I think that's the biggest difference for me.
Yeah, what really set me off was that first year he had in Miami. Like it was ridiculous. I've never seen a season like that. That first year in Miami was crazy and fun to watch. So I enjoyed it. And then we'll go baseball. I'm gonna take something different than y'all two did. I'll go Nolan Ryan.
Okay,
I'll take him.
All
It's
right,
one of
good pick.
Yeah, I like him, so I'll take that for the baseball scheme of things. And then football, I'll take Jerry Rice to be different. TB12 is hard to argue against him with all those statistics and things like that, but Jerry Rice dominated his position for many, many years and stuff like that. And in my opinion, the best route runner to ever come through the NFL. So
for sure,
yeah,
I think it's hard to argue against a quarterback being the greatest of all time.
Yeah, it is
because like we talked about last week, Jamie, quarterback is the only one where Super Bowls is a stat for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Nobody says, "Hey, as a tight
Rice.
end, you've won this many Super Bowls as a tight end." Nobody says
Or
that.
O-lineman or
Pitchers and quarterbacks. That's your wins and losses.
The greatest of all time argument is so hard because there's so many different positions and so many eras. It's like if you put Shaq against MJ, like you could argue that Shaquille O'Neal is one of the greatest ever because of his position and what he did at the position. But again,
and it's really hard to argue eras in all sports.
Yeah. Because
I've only seen clips of Wilt Chamberlain, but they actually said Wilt would make Shaq look bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Shaq and Wilt and here's what's crazy. This is just a crazy stat about Wilt. When he played, they didn't make a lot of money. So in the offseason, he would travel with the Harlem Globetrotters and run point guard as a 7-footer and was like, he passed like magic.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. When it comes, and we have Taylor here, so this is a great, for you guys that don't know Taylor Groves, 4-star defensive back. He's an Ole Miss signee, possible Tennessee Class A TSSAA Mr. Basketball candidate. We're gonna go ahead and speak that into existence.
Yeah, go ahead.
But one of the things, like when you look at Taylor's football ability, you can put Taylor anywhere on the field.
Yes.
Anywhere, right?
Yes, anywhere.
That's my thing. Could you put Brady as a football player, the greatest football player? Man, that's really hard to say because Brady can't go cover somebody.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
If you think about that from a perspective, I might have to say Deion Sanders.
Well, yeah.
I like
are
that.
we talking about player or athlete? Because I think there's a difference.
Well, the thing
They're
about
all
it is,
athletes, but player, if you're the greatest of all time for your particular position, over top of an athlete. Yeah, if you say athlete, you'd have to say Deion Sanders
Or Bo Jackson.
Or Bo Jackson, yes.
Jackson, you know what I mean? So
I think you might be a little quiet. Let's go. There you go.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like the NFL, it's a QB-driven league. Like
It is.
you see the MVP award, like most of those MVP awards go to quarterbacks. So That's why I think they should just have a separate award for different, like another guy, because the MVP award is really a award for a quarterback. So,
And think about this: how many times, if Tom and Deion would have played in their prime, that Tom would have said, "Well, not throwing Deion's way."
Come on.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, a corner can completely
Absolutely.
dictate the way a quarterback even,
Well, you think about like guys nowadays, like Jalen Ramsey.
I was about to say, yeah.
He's that type of player on the football field.
Right.
Like
He is.
guys don't want to throw his way. Like you could throw Trayvon Diggs in there, but the reason why he led the league in interceptions because he was targeted the most.
He also led up the most. I'm a Cowboys fan, but he also led up the most yards in the NFL, but not led the leading picks. So, I mean,
Feast or famine.
yeah.
Let's have a moment of silence for Taylor, being a Cowboys fan. Okay. All right. So, but anyways, so I just think, I'm just happy that we have gotten to see some greats. Even me growing up, you get to see a lot of things. And that's like, I talked to you guys about Joe Burrow. I like to see history being made. Tom Brady made history. Michael Jordan made history. And I mean, LeBron might win history too about being on, number one draft pick on four or five different teams to win a championship.
Right.
I mean, it's his longevity is crazy. Not going to college, that is crazy. And for him to be that big, that fast,
And he could also have his jersey retired with 3 different teams.
For sure.
that is crazy. And so without taking the Olympics out, because honestly, if you're going to say who's the GOAT of all GOATs, how is it not Michael Phelps?
When Jeremiah brought that up, and even Jacqueline did on Instagram in your comments, and I went, it's hard to argue against that.
You can't argue that.
Yeah, Jacqueline Stone said Michael Phelps and gave me that. What about the argument for Serena?
Top of her field.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tiger?
Yes,
Tiger,
top of his field.
and that, when you first brought that up, Tiger was the one that I brought. If you said of all sports, I would think Tiger Woods, because the fact that he brought in. I mean, even his own colleagues that he played against said that he got 3 to 4 strokes when he stepped on the course.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then he, they have something called the Tiger Slam now, because it used to be called, I think, and if I'm not right, the Grand Slam, where if you win all four of the majors within a career, but he won it in a season, within a 2000-2001 season, won all 4 of them in a row, and they call it a Tiger Slam now. Like, and now there's stats we could throw out for anybody. I mean, we could throw those out for LeBron or Jordan, and they've all done that kind of stuff. But me personally, just going out like that, I think that Tiger would be the GOAT of all things.
When I think of also greatest of all time, a stat that's not included is like guys who like literally changed the game of the game that they played. Like, and Tiger's one of those. Like, going back to those guys, I said when he stepped on the courts, he instantly got 3 or 4 strokes. And like on those Sundays, when it got to Sunday, and the crowd was cheering, and they were following Tiger. Bro, it's Tiger's coming.
Yeah.
If he was in that 3-stroke behind you, you knew he was coming. And then like again, I think if you talk about basketball, guys that change the game.
Steph Curry.
I'm serious. Like, as much as we hate it, I mean, because of what it's done to the game of basketball, everybody wants to shoot the 3-ball.
Like he shoots like he's like 15 attempts a game.
He will no doubt, undoubtedly go down as the greatest shooter of all time.
I think he's already there.
Already.
In my opinion, he is.
So, I mean, he could get thrown in the argument of being the greatest because he impacted the game. Tom Brady, the tuck rule, he impacted the game.
Wait a minute.
Easy. So basically, we're all going to agree to say that we're going to let you guys put in the comments on our, whatever you see this, whether it's on YouTube.
Whether you agree
Instagram.
or disagree, this is just what's inside our head.
Yeah, just you guys give us your opinion on who you think is the GOAT of all GOATs, and you got to think about Wilt Chamberlain is actually the only person in the NBA that they've actually changed the rules of the game. 5 seconds went to 3 seconds.
Right.
They eliminated offensive goaltending, and they also made the lane wider, all because of Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
No other player has ever had an official rule change. All right, so let's move on really quick. And before we get into our Super Bowl halftime thing, we're going to talk to Taylor really quick about just a couple of things. Man, just right off the bat, everybody talks to you about football, but we want to talk to you about basketball. Right now, I believe you're on an 11 or 12 game winning streak with your East Robertson Indians. You guys are rolling a little bit. Really quick, what do you want to say about your team?
We're finally figuring it out at the right time. We were struggling there at the beginning, but now is when you want to be your hottest and want to be at your best and become tournament time in a couple of weeks. So guys are working hard. We're competing every day and getting better. So it's the right time for it.
Gotcha. And so we have some statistics because that statistic has, all of your stats have been released because you're going for Mr. Basketball in a Class A. And as of before your game last night, which was a Saturday night, you had over 1,700 points. And you're still in your senior year. You still got 2 more regular season games, and then you have the district tournament, and then the region, the sub-state, and all that. Over 300 assists. You had 301 assists. I'm trying to call this from memory. You had over 700 rebounds, 102 blocks, and 87 steals.
That's decent.
That's decent.
That's a day's work.
Here's what's the crazy thing. He does all of that without a junior season.
I know.
Well, that's incredible.
No junior season.
Nuts.
So, and that's not to take anything away from your adversaries or the people that's going to be like that. But just think about, have you ever sit back and go, man, if I had a junior season?
I did actually. I was thinking to myself, maybe I could have had a chance at that, that point total, like passing somebody up with that in the 2,000 range, because I feel like I could have got that. I would have been well over 2,000 right now if I would have got a junior season. So
or even a shot at the 500 assists.
Yeah, or that, that too. Yeah, so
500 assists. Well, 500 assists is
Yeah,
I think easily he could be over 2,000 points and 500 assists.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's kind of crazy because you actually 500 assists is the marker of what they give us point guards when they give out those 1,000-point basketballs. They give out a basketball for 500 assists because
1,000 points.
Essentially, it's 1,000 points.
Right.
So with that being said, what do you think about going into the tournament?
I feel like we have a chance to go back to the state tournament, in my opinion. We got everything we need at every position. We got scorers, defense, rebounders, shot blockers, and all that and stuff like that. And we'll bring back another guard when my brother Sean comes back too. So having that will help too, because we need more guards and stuff like that and guys that can handle the ball. So I see us getting back to the state tournament, in my opinion. We'll see Trousdale again in the district tournament. We'll see the Clay counties and in the region. So it'll be tough, but in my opinion, I feel like we can get back there.
Gotcha.
Let me ask you about that. Getting back to the state tournament. Because last time you guys got back to the state tournament, COVID hit. Yeah. Is that kind of just like almost like a bad taste in your mouth, or is that just kind of like you look back looking what if, or is that more of an extra motivation into this year going like, hey, take advantage of the opportunity because you don't know when you're going to get it?
Yeah, it's definitely take advantage of it because, like I said, we could have made noise going in too. We were one of the hottest teams in the state at the time, so not to get to play in it, it hurt a lot of us. So it's definitely, it motivates us every day and stuff like that to get back and try to get back in there and win a gold ball.
Let's go.
Sweet. So really quick, we're going to shift gears and we are going to talk a little bit about football because, you are assigned to go be a hottie toddy.
Yes, sir.
And SEC football, what are you looking forward to?
Like you said, SEC football.
Let's go.
Yeah.
He knows what it is.
Yeah. It's in my opinion, the best conference. They get guys to the league out that conference. You get to play the Bamas of the world and stuff like that. So in my opinion, it'll be fun. I can't wait.
So it's kind of like that measuring stick. You're kind of ready to see where you're at and, and say, time to step up, right?
Yeah, I can't wait because, no offense, but like we're in 2A football here. So, I see double teams and stuff like that, and stuff like that here. But at the college level, you get to see like where you're at and where you need to be real quick. You'll find that out real quick about yourself. So I just can't wait to figure it out and see and, put the work in and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
Knowing where you're at here and the ability that you have, man, we all see your accolades. We see how good you are. As being a first-time defensive coordinator this past year, you made it easy on me. Just kind of like, hey, coach, this is what we should run. All right, Taylor, sounds good, man. But as you step into SEC, you think about the talent level that's there. Not just the talent level. What do you think will be the biggest adjustment for you stepping into somewhere like that?
The biggest adjustment, I would say just maybe like their schedule, like, stuff like that. Like here, I've never really had a schedule like they had at college. They talk about it and stuff like that, fall camp and two-a-days and mandatory film or study halls and film sessions, just all that stuff. So I think it'll just be getting adjusted to the schedules and things like that.
Yeah.
because it becomes more of a job.
It is more like a job.
Yeah, and I can speak that just from, and Jamie, you can too, just being a college athlete too, but and even Jordan being an athlete, but just the adjustment that is there. It is hard when you have 6 a.m. workouts and you have 8 a.m. classes all the way up to you got to be done by 12:30 because you got lunch, and then you got to come back for weights, and you got film, and then you got practice, and then you got film again, and then you got study hall, and then you go, oh, it's 10 o'clock at night. Yeah. Now I got to do my homework. Yeah. Like it's a lot to handle.
Yeah, and I can imagine. I think a lot of people think, and me included, like a lot of times you just get caught up in watching the games and watching these, kids play, but you forget that school doesn't go away.
The behind the scenes and all that.
You're still trying to go get your degree. You're still trying to, so that all that still stays there. You still have to. You just have that extra load. Yeah. This is the first time that I've gotten to meet you. Mm-hmm. So I've got a couple of questions. One of which I think it's really cool that you're going to this.
Hold on a second. Don't let the first question be why you didn't choose Kentucky. You can't.
You can't ask that.
Why did you not go to Kentucky? No, I'm just kidding. I won't do that to you. But I am going to get to. I want to know some of the other offers that you had. It'd be cool to hear. And then also, but one thing is, I thought it's really cool that coming from. You said you played 2A ball, right? Coming from a smaller school, that you still got recognized. And I think a lot of times people think they need to go to, like, once they start getting picked up like some traction, they think they need to go to a good pasture or Brentwood, you know what I mean, and get down there and stuff. Whereas you just stayed, you balled out where you were. And if you're, I kind of equate that to music. Like I feel like if you're good and you're out there playing good music, someone's going to find you. If they're playing good ball, they're going to come find you. So how was that kind of recruiting process, and when were you first started getting some offers in and stuff?
So actually, my first offer was my freshman year again from the University of Kentucky. It's my freshman year.
Really?
Yeah, it was. But I've heard that many a times, like, why are you still here? There's bigger schools here and there. I had schools try to chase me and get me to come here. But I never had a family like I did, like a second family here at like East. Like people actually talk about it, but it's true. It's like a real second family.
Yeah.
Like even the community, they were behind me 100% through it all too. So I didn't want to go anywhere else. I wanted to do it here and behind everybody that's had my back the entire time and stuff like that, because that community means a lot to me, in my opinion. So I just wanted to do it here, in my opinion.
Awesome. And from what I know so far of you too, like you've done a lot for that community as well and stuff. And these guys speak so highly of you, and also that just proves that Kentucky is really good at recruiting, because they notice talent before any other school notice talent, right?
Well, I think they said, hey, we better go ahead and offer him and see if he'll go ahead and accept it really quick because everybody else is coming. Yeah.
Well, shoot your shot,
Yeah. So run down just some of your offers that you had.
Kentucky, Tennessee, A&M, Texas A&M, Michigan, Baylor, Arkansas, South Carolina. Those are just a few. Can't name.
Just ask him who did.
Well, we did some stuff for Penn State.
Penn State offered me. Bama came and watched me my sophomore year of spring practice. They came down here to the school and watched me practice. So.
Yeah, so we know you fell in love with Ole Miss, the old lane train out there, man, and it's hard to not look at Ole Miss and go, hey, I want to go to school here. But was there any school that you got recruited by that was a complete surprise that you like, hey, this could be a possibility?
I would say maybe Penn State.
Yeah.
One of the biggest stadiums in college football, the whiteout game they have every year with Ohio State, it's pretty cool. It's one of the most, the best environment to be in my opinion. So I definitely saw myself being there. Once I decommitted from Michigan, of course, they were one of the first two schools, along with Ole Miss, to contact me and try to get me to switch over there. So that was one school that I see myself playing at that maybe most people didn't.
Me and you've had a conversation, and I want you to tell these guys, and I want you to tell everybody else. You're thinking beyond football. Yes, God has given you a talent, and there's a possibility that definitely looks like there's going to be a possibility you're going to play on Saturdays, maybe even a possibility you play on Sundays. But as we know, nothing is promised. Tell us what you have in store if things don't go that way with football.
So even if they do, I still want to do this. If they don't, I still want to. Either way, this is something I want to do, but I want to start my own sporting agency. You see a lot of different college athletes have this too, but I want it to be like nationwide, like huge. Like you see these big New York buildings. I want it to be like one of them big buildings type things.
All right.
And I also want to start my own clothing line and brand and do that kind of thing too. So
any idea on the name?
I'm not. I want to be something around TG3 along
Okay.
those lines. Different apparel and stuff like that. So workouts.
The
shirts and things
TG3
like that.
tower there on Highway 25 in Cross Plains. Right by the red
Right
flashing
down the
light.
hustle and bustle of Cross Plains.
Yeah. He's going to have a big high rise. And like, where y'all going for lunch? Across the street to Thomas Drugs. All right, guys. Hey, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. And we're going to end you really quick with we've already had this argument too. And
Yeah,
so
we have.
it's going to be great. Now, we're not, it's only candy bars.
Okay. So
It's not candy. It's not Starburst or Skittles or like that. It's candy bar.
Okay. Is Reese's a candy bar?
That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Because it comes in two pieces. It doesn't matter. No, Reese's Pieces isn't. So you can't say Reese's Pieces.
I'm just glad you didn't say Reese's Pieces. Like, I cannot stand that. Like, hey, man, it's Reese's Pieces. Like, read the bag. I'm sorry.
Do you want me to tell you something really cool about Reese's Pieces? Useless information right here. When the book E.T. was written, before it was a movie, in the book, the little girl, Elliot's little sister, is feeding E.T. M&Ms. It says M&Ms in the book. But when the movie comes out, it's Reese's Pieces because it was a brand new product and they paid for that product to push it.
Product placement. There you go. It's the reason why on movies they get a super close up with a car pulling in. It's an Audi. Oh, Audi paid to be there. Yeah. Or when Nick Saban gets mad and there's a Coke bottle facing out, there's a reason why Coke's there.
All right, let's start with Taylor.
I'm gonna go Reese's peanut butter cups. That's one of my favorites.
Okay, you gotta be specific. The cup.
Yeah, because but no, you do though.
You do have to be specific.
I'll tell you why in a minute, but I agree.
So does that count?
It does.
Yeah,
count.
no.
Yeah, that's fine. But
We'll get into that.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's-
Reese's peanut
Matt's
butter
going to have a
cup.
disclaimer here at the end.
Peanut butter cups. Okay, I'll go with that. I'll go with
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay. My favorite is, it used to be Take 5, but I do believe Reese's or whoever, they've just completely abandoned that, and it's a Reese's Take 5. So it's basically chocolate, peanut butter, pretzel, and so the Reese's Take 5 is my favorite right now.
Quick question: do you ever freeze your Reese's cups?
I have done that before.
Oh,
I've done that before.
It's the best.
I've done that before.
Like so funny because I'm gonna go Reese's sticks. I love the Reese's sticks with the wafers. Have you ever seen them? Have you had?
I don't know if I've even seen
I've
that.
seen 'em.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen
like
them either.
a nice like Diet Pepsi and a Reese's sticks is just so good. If you haven't had it, you've got to try it. It's just like a
Like a Kit
Reese's,
Kat?
like a thicker wafer basically.
Like
with
a Kit
peanut
Kat.
butter, sort of, but not really. Kit Kat doesn't have peanut butter.
It's just two sticks.
I-
It's kind of like a Twix.
I know. I'm just messing.
It's
I'm
like
just messing.
Reese's meets Twix meets Kit Kat.
Okay,
Right.
I'm just messing. I just wanted to
So
frustrate
now
you.
you have to go with a Reese's something. I don't know.
Oh.
Reese's Pieces.
I know. I
Reese's,
already know he's going with
Reese's eggs.
eggs.
Okay,
Eggs,
because
okay.
here's the thing. I used to be that way where it's like, oh, Reese's Cups, it's the OG, got to be the best. But there's a different chocolate to peanut butter ratio with the Reese's eggs, and there's more peanut butter, and to me, the eggs is a little bit softer.
Yeah.
It doesn't have quite of the cup doesn't have a bite to it. It's not a snap, but I do believe like there's a flavor difference in the Reese's egg and between the original Reese's because there's more peanut butter. In the
I'd
Reese's.
agree.
They're probably a little more fresh too because they have to do it seasonally. Who knows how long some of these Reese's have
Bro,
been
you know them
sitting
things are
out
sitting in a warehouse. They don't do that
there. I don't know, man.
seasonally.
I don't know. It's a different package. And now, so what about the Christmas tree ones? Is that the same thing?
Same thing as an egg.
yeah.
Yeah, I would put that in the same category as an
Yeah.
egg in the.
I forgot about
Christmas
those
tree.
too.
Yeah.
All right, well, Taylor, man, we appreciate you joining us, man. I know you took time out of your busy day and big game last night, and this will air later on. But Taylor had a basketball game last night. We're filming here on a Sunday, so he took time out of his Sunday to come and hang out and talk to us a little bit about his life and about the fact that he likes Reese's peanut butter cups and everything like that. And next week, the next show, I'm gonna go ahead and throw out what our random question is gonna be. We want to hear from
Okay.
you guys, so we
Yeah.
want to hear from you guys ahead of time. Favorite Girl Scout cookie?
Ooh,
Oh, yeah,
you
that's
gonna
it.
be?
That's
I'll
easy.
fight somebody. Over
Okay,
Girl Scout
don't say
cookies.
anything right now. Favorite Girl
I'm gonna
Scout
throw
cookie?
hands over some Girl Scout cookies.
Anything else you guys want to say, man?
No, I think that's good. Taylor, man, it's nice to meet you.
I'm good. Nice to meet you.
And just best of luck in the future and stuff. We're all going to be here rooting for you.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Again, this is a show where you might think about it, but we're going to talk about it. See y'all.
See you later.